They say, don't they, when it all goes horribly wrong, we should make a cup of tea and just sit back and take five. So look, I'm in the middle of tea pouring at the moment. Here's a wonderful sound effect that everyone in this country should love. And then you should hear it about 3 o'clock, so see if you can hear it. You can hear a dog barking, but see if you can hear the sound of this lovely tea. Can you hear? Can you hear that lovely sound? That beautiful, rich sound. Oh, how many people, even at this time of the day, would be longing to hear that sound. I love it. Milk top just coming off, little splash of milk, and then we'll settle back for what I believe probably even President Roosevelt might have called a little fireside chat. Well, I don't have a fireside, and but I am quite able to chat. I used to work in a call centre, so I'm really good at chatting. I just ditch the spoon in the sink. I've even sent myself a reminder to wash up later because I might forget. I'm getting to an age where forgetting is something you do a little bit too easily. Well, I'm back again. This is obviously a whole shot of me. Previously, it's just been the voice. Let's just have a quick sip. I like Kit, tea, cat. I love cats. And it goes down well, especially this time of day. What I want to talk about, I suppose, yet again, is Syria. Yeah. What I want to talk about is the fact that Theresa May will go ahead with no mandate from the UN. That's not likely, and certainly no vote in Parliament. She's entitled to do that. Yep. The British Constitution gives her the powers of a monarch who believes their kingdom is being attacked. So, yep, I mean, I'd actually call her more of a dictator than a monarch, but she is exercising her outright power and authority, as your monarch would have done in the past in calling people to arms. So, Britons, you have been called to arms. I think some things underlie this. I think it's obvious that the majority of people do not want us to attack Syria. I think the votes and the public opinion polls that have been done clearly prove that. I think we'd actually like to see some genuine evidence, but then again, did we see any genuine evidence with the Skripals? We didn't, did we? Saw a lot of lies, though. And I'll tell you what I think is really interesting, too. It carries on the chemical weapons thing, doesn't it? Yeah. First, the Skripals, who are now perfectly well recovered, were attacked with a deadly chemical agent in the UK, and now, whatever the case may be, whoever may have dropped these chemical munitions, we must assume that it was Assad. It could well have been, and because we do the decent thing, we must attack Syria and bring down this terrible dictator. As Chucky Mark mentioned in a video he did, this kind of thing is going on in Yemen, just a little distance away, and we're selling them the weapons. Funny that, isn't it? What's to say, in fact, that they probably aren't even British chemical weapons that Assad or somebody has been using out there. Mrs. May, she's waiting for Trump to tell her what to do, isn't she? She's on his coattails. She's like his little dog who will sit up and beg for instructions, and then Trump will give instructions. And, of course, May will follow them. Yeah. Behind all of this, and this is really what I want to say that I think is quite important. Behind all of this, there is almost a darkness to the human psyche, particularly to the male psyche. There's something so evil and dark. I've often described it with May and her MPs, particularly her male MPs, as a kind of sexual perversion. And I really do mean that. I think it's about power, especially for a lot of these men. And I think, in fact, I know that research has proved that in the centre of the brain, I don't know if I'm right in calling it the amygdala or something, apparently for the male, the erotic part of the brain that is to do with ejaculation and sexual pleasure, and all those release of, I would imagine, hormones like endorphin, and probably also, I would expect, quite a bit of adrenaline, is actually very close to the centre, the limbic system, that is to do with fight or flight. Now, particularly if we think about flight, it's almost as though those two centres sit so close together. Yeah? But thinking about flight, I'm sure you've all heard this. Soldiers often report erections when going into battle. Some of them even report ejaculating when going into battle. And it is certainly known, and I believe to be the case, that even showing pornographic films and whatever to men before a major battle probably gets them hyped up and in the right frame of mind. That's the darkness. That's the darkness behind all of it. Not behind all men necessarily, but probably behind all humanity. That darkness is there. Trump is a supreme example of that darkness given free rein. Absolute free rein. Total darkness. Excuse me. Trump, with all of his hookers, his ex-wives, his touching women's genitalia, his pussy grabbing, his my dick is bigger than your dick, apart from his tiny hands. Yeah. But look at all that that's to do with power, and power is to do with sexual repression, sexual dominance, yeah, and that is in the minds of so many men. So I want you just to think about that, and I want you to think about something else. It strikes me from a lady who was a doctor who I saw speak at a CND conference, that you women can be the hope for mankind. You're women. Generally speaking, I'm not sure, I don't think May would qualify, because May's just a psychopath. I'm not joking, honestly, that is not a joke. May is not in that respect a true woman. She's a psychopath. She has absolutely no feelings, none whatsoever. She could easily launch a nuclear war that will kill billions of innocent people. It really wouldn't bother her. She's a Christian, she claims, but she's like Trump, she's a psychopath. She's an absolute psychopath. But I'm appealing particularly to women, any woman listening to this video. I sincerely believe your brain and your brain chemistry and all that you are works very differently to us men. Yeah? I'm not by any means trying to say that you are not equal to us and deserving of the same respect and all that lot. Of course, I'm having nothing to do with that. That is not what I am saying. But I am saying that as women, you surely value and nurture life. Not just if you happen to be women who have had children, not even if you're women who like children or even want to have children. I don't really think that matters. But the fact of the matter is, I believe that biologically and genetically, and through a matter of evolutionary biology, you are about the survival of the human race and the reproduction of the human race. one thing's for certain. Without you, none of us would be here. Yeah? I urge you, please, to write to your MPs. Tell them we don't want war with Syria. Tell them that we don't want an entire generation, the entire world, wiped out and to die horribly as a result of some sick male fantasy, to be honest. Some sick male fantasy. And men, please, men, real men with hearts and dignity and minds and truth and love in your hearts, stand up. Stand up and be counted. No war with Syria, not in my name, not in the name of ordinary, decent, loving humanity. Thanks for listening, folks. I'm going to go and finish my cup of tea.